being a part of this kind of rebuild of our organization has been really gratifying for me. I've been proud of the role that I've played in it, and a bunch of guys with me as well have done some amazing things to grow British basketball throughout this country, throughout the city of London, and now throughout Europe. People recognizing the London Lions as a real club that can compete at the high level and play in these big games. And now we're not just a throwaway name. We're now a name that people recognize for having some success. So being part of that is something I'm very proud of.
What the Lions have done in a relatively short period of time is pretty incredible. If you rewind 3-4 years ago and you go to a game at the Copper Box, you would have very few people there, and obviously the level and quality of the team and the player was nowhere near sort of what it is now.
I suppose in the last 3-4 years the development of the club's been accelerated so quickly, both on and off the court. So off the court, the sort of started with the foundation, the community programmes that they do, and then on the court bringing back some of the best British players, Luke Nelson, Gabe Olaseni. On the women's side you've got Temi Fagbenley, Carly Samuelson, and then sort of as a fan on the game day experience, it's elevated so much more. There's much more for a fan to come along and engage with.
So basketball is something I think is almost a new age, new wave, a lot of youth interest. We see a lot of families, a lot of kids, a lot of adolescent people coming back to our games. So I think we're trying to grow within the youth community, and then they can, as they grow up, pass that down generation to generation. But that's how it starts. It has to start somewhere, and I think we're kind of in the middle of that as the London Lions. To be that first kind of staple for British basketball to grow and become a very cultural thing.
Namely what the London Lions are doing and competing in Europe is bringing a new level of basketball to the country that we haven't seen before, and it's also giving the sport a level of visibility across Europe that it hasn't had before. The fact that you're here talking to me is as a result of the London Lions doing what they're doing in Europe. So there's a ton of potential that the sport has, and hopefully if everyone continues to get behind it, support it, invest in it, we'll see it reach the levels that we all believe it can.
As a fan, the media output that the Cubs delivering now is great. It's great for a fan. There's so much to engage with, whether that's content that's been put out, but also game days. And almost, as Paris fans will know, basketball is not just about the sport itself. There's a culture identity around it as well, and that's something that the club London Lions are trying to do and reach into London and share that as well.
Obviously, I've played in some cities that love their basketball, have very old school, passionate fan bases. We're kind of that, like I said, a new wave, a new thing for the City of London. But being the only team in the City of London is pretty unique because, with football there's north, south, east, west, way south, way north. Different areas of London have their football team. Here it's one team, so it can be a collective community approach. We have people coming from all over the place. I've talked to people coming from Brighton, talked to people coming from as far as Surrey to just come to a Copper Box match for us. So it's pretty cool that we have this London identity, this stamp. We don't belong to one neighborhood. We're based in East London. We kind of have that East London spirit, that gritty spirit, but we're still London's team, and we want to be that. And then on the European stage, we want to be Great Britain's team. So I think it's pretty cool project we have, that we're kind of a collective with everybody and fighting together.
But I think our fan base is growing. I think You know, the popularity of the London Lions is growing. The more we win, I think that helps. So, but it's not only just us. You know, our women's team is in the finals for Euro Cup as well. So hopefully we have 2 Euro Cup champions at the end of the season.
The aspiration is to be at the highest levels you can get. And over here in Europe, the highest level is EuroLeague. So obviously we want to be that team that gets the London Lions into the next step. We would wear that badge proudly. That's something that we would never forget. You know, all 15 of us would never forget being part of that team that got us to that next level. So yeah, it's in the back of your mind because you want to do something that's never been done before. But also there's a big task at hand in playing against Paris. But I think they would answer that the same way. They have EuroLeague aspirations. They're very open about it, and I think we are as well. So yeah, I think it's 2 of the most ready teams for that next step, playing each other, so it's going to be pretty cool to see what happens.
And all of this talent that we have here, there is a real optimism about what this sport could be. You know, looking into the future, there's no reason why basketball couldn't be the #2 sport in the country.